Fame 11, come in. Over.
Control, we read you. Over.
Okay, from Flight Control, for the benefit of our audience members and spectators on the grounds here, we anticipate Hall of Fame 11 landing shortly. We kindly ask at this time that you safely take your seats. Once again, Hall of Fame 11 will be landing shortly. Please be aware that tonight's stellar event will include loud sounds, bright strobing lights, lasers, and special effects.
Hall of Fame 11, this is Florida Control.
This is Hall of Fame 11. We read you, Florida. Over.
Capcom requests a check for Saley. Over.
Roger. Saley payload is intact. Control, along with Buddy 79.
Hall of Fame 11, this is Control. We just want to wish you the best of luck down here. All systems are tracking on time, and we look forward to calm upon landing.
Control, landing site looks perfect, and the stellar rocket is ready to enter the atmosphere.
One final check before we prepare to watch the landing of Hall of Fame 11. Control has confirmed we are on target, and we expect to see the stellar rocket landing with Hall of Fame 11 momentarily. Gather up your loved ones and take your seats. We're only moments away.
Hall of Fame 11, all systems are go. Resume landing sequence on my mark. 3, 2, 1. Go for landing, Hall of Fame 11.
Roger, Control. Go for landing.
Every journey has a starting point. Mine started long ago with a dream. That's what brought me here. If you want to find something, you have to search. If you want to succeed, you need to try. I never stopped searching. Never stopped trying. And now, I've arrived.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting our 2019 Full Sail Hall of Fame inductees. He is a multi-award-winning cinematographer and producer, founder and creative director of the Orlando-based production, animation, and design agency Digital Brew. 2004 film and 2005 entertainment business graduate, Michael Cardwell. She has served as front-of-house engineer and toured the world mixing multi-Grammy Award winner Christian McBride while building her own successful audio businesses, 23dB Productions and One of One Production Studio. 2002 Recording Arts graduate, Fela Davis. She works as a lead project manager in esports for Blizzard Entertainment, managing the team behind global esports event and program planning for Hearthstone, World of Warcraft, and StarCraft II. 2010 Game Design Masters graduate, Aaron Eberhard. With more than 18 years of experience, he has worked on multiple award-winning commercial, broadcast, motion, and interactive design projects, and is currently a UX designer working in augmented reality at Google. 2002 Digital Media graduate, Chris Kelly. He is an award-winning sound designer and mixer for the video game industry on projects including Call of Duty, Forza Motorsport, Brothers in Arms, Tony Hawk, and Project Gotham Racing. Advanced audio designer at Certain Affinity, 2004 Recording Arts graduate, Mark Kilborn. He has co-directed multiple Ratchet & Clank titles and executive produced Edge of Nowhere, Feral Rights, The Unspoken, Stormland, and Seedling. He is head of technology at Insomniac Games. 2001 game design graduate Sean McCabe.
Full Sail University Hall of Fame 11 has landed. Woo! And what a mission we are on tonight. Yes? Phenomenal. We are here to welcome 6 incredible, talented, driven, indescribably competent people into the Hall of Fame. 6 new members tonight. I nailed that description, didn't I? Yeah. So this is such an amazing thing. So great to be together tonight. And what about this band? Hello? Are they incredible? Music, yeah. Music production students, Matthew, Tom, Juan Felipe, Juan Esteban, Natasha. Woo-hoo-hoo! Amazing. Very well done, guys. And our very own faculty members, the horn section, they make Tower of Power and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Wish those guys were still touring today with these crew. How about give it up there? Their names are right up here. I mentioned Hall of Fame. These individuals make up such an incredible part of the heartbeat of Full Sail. They're really important to us. Buddy, I need help. This thing has got to go. Meet my assistant, my co-pilot tonight. This is Buddy. Buddy, come on over. What a great night. Hey, my friend? Yeah, they do look good, don't they? They really do. Buddy, give me a hand. Could I leave this with you because it's kind of cumbersome? Yeah, just show me where to put it. Oh, thank you. Buddy, I think it's going to be a good night. What do you think? Yeah, he likes you guys a lot. Thank you, buddy. I'll see you later in the show. See you later, pal. By the end of tonight, we will have 66 incredible Hall of Fame members. 66. And these wonderful human beings from this planet, well, I think they're all from another world, actually, but these wonderful human beings show up here on our campus time and time again to give back to our current students, to mentor, to teach master classes, and by golly, 30 of the 66 returned and are here with us this week. They've been here all week long. Yep. Yeah. Right alongside of another 30 or so graduates, future Hall of Fame members, yes indeed, that returned to be a part, and over the course of the last 5 days, somewhere north of 250 discrete individual events have happened on our campus for the current student body and for our staff and faculty. These have been master classes, panel discussions, one-on-one mentoring sessions. It's been every imaginable cohort of helping our current students with their journey towards a field they're very passionate about. So I would just like for you all to stand for a moment, all the graduates that have returned this week to give back so kindly and so generously. Would you stand and take a bow? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! You guys are magnificent. Magnificent in every way. Thank you so much. One of those magnificent graduates is Alexandria Perryman. I know. I love her too. Alexandria actually is practically an astronaut. She works for NASA. She works at NASA's Johnson Space Center, and she's a 2015 Recording Arts graduate. And why don't we bring her up to the stage to talk about her stellar work that she does. Come on up, Alexandria. Where are you? There you are. Woo-hoo! How great to be with you.
It is amazing to be back. I love it here.
It's always a joy when you're on the campus, and you're here so often. Thank you.
Thank you.
So tell us about your job. This is just incredible.
So I am an audio engineer at NASA. So basically I handle the audio that's coming from the space station down to Mission Control, and I put it out on NASA TV. And I am support for Mission Control as well.
Incredible. Do you talk to astronauts when they're up there?
I do. I talk to astronauts every day.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? It is so cool. And on top of this day stuff she does that she's describing, you also are a producer.
That is correct, yes. I am the chief audio engineer for NASA's Houston We Have a Podcast.
That's great. Are civilians allowed to listen to that?
Oh, of course. You can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and hopefully soon Spotify.
Wonderful. That's great. What's your favorite moment on Hall of Fame week so far?
I think my favorite moment has been just being in the back lot around the students and listening to them coming out of panels and meeting people that they look up to and feeling that creativity just vibe through here. It's almost like coming back home.
Ain't it so?
Yeah.
It's been my favorite too. That's great. Alexandria, I can't wait to celebrate the rest of the evening with you. Thank you for being with us. I adore you.
Thank you.
Forever. I was going to use this line once. I may as well do it with you, Alexandria. I love you to the moon and back. There it is. I used it. Leslie, do you see what I did there? Okay. So you people in this room obviously think you're everybody, right? Well, you're partially right. You're part of everybody. The audience also consists of our live stream right now, this minute, tonight, and we are sending the message of Stellar Hall of Fame 11 out to the entire universe. So let's just give a little quick wave to all of our friends that have dialed in. I'm sure they can see us from the camera. Welcome everybody, all our great friends and graduates and students out there. Thanks for joining us tonight online. It's good to be with you all. And out back, there is a satellite stage. Yes, a satellite stage where there's a ton of great students and staff and faculty members out there. And taking care of business outside, alongside of us in here, is Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. David Franco. David, what's shaking?
Hello, Gary. Hello, everybody inside. And hello, student body. Welcome to Hall of Fame 11. Let's hear it, students! Yes, so we have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead. We're passing out stuff here. We've got a great block party coming up at the end of today. What a week. You got it. The pizza's in the back. We had just such a wonderful week. We want to thank all the Hall of Famers. We want to thank all of you for waiting out in the heat and sitting here for so long, especially you guys in the front. And thank you, Hall of Famers, for giving back to all of these students. We also have a lot of great social media buzz going on. We ask you to participate. If you could, please use hashtag FullSailHOF. We also just came off a wonderful year of our Fortress with our esports program, and it's been growing by leaps and bounds. Today, the esports initiatives includes, get this, over 60 varsity athletes at your university here as part of Team Armada. Let's give it up for Team Armada. We've hosted numerous events with companies like Blizzard, Red Bull, NBA 2K, and the NHL, where our students have shadowed and gained event production experience in every way. And students from the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting have also given in play-by-play in these events, otherwise known as shoutcasters. I didn't know that. I just learned something new on that. So good for those students. Speaking of the Dan Patrick School of Broadcasting, the degree, we just graduated its first class in October of 2019, and we had the pleasure of having Dan Patrick preside over the ceremony. And throughout tonight's event, we were featuring two current students of Dan Patrick School of Sportcasting. Our announcers this evening are Alexis Sheedy and Cole Fewen. Let's welcome them.
Thank you, Dave. Full Sail University is incredibly honored to have our next guest joining us for Hall of Fame 11.
Please welcome our very own City of Winter Park Mayor, Steve Leary.
Good evening, everyone. Man, listen, I'm going to do this special for our friends outside. I have privilege to give talks occasionally around Central Florida, and I've yet to leave one where somebody said, man, I wish that elected guy had spoken for just a little bit longer. So I will be brief because they're struggling outside. But listen, it is a pleasure to be here. I would tell Gary all the time, it's so much fun coming back to campus. I love coming here. I love the energy, the vibe that you all put out. It's part of what makes Winter Park so special. It's easy to sell Winter Park when I can tell them all the cool things that are going on here. I don't think I've missed a Hall of Fame ceremony yet, and I don't ever plan to. So thank you all for what you do. Makes my job easier promoting a very cool, fun place to live like Winter Park. Today, it's my pleasure to talk about Full Sail University Hall of Fame Day. It's a proclamation from the City of Winter Park, whereas Full Sail University is a tremendous community partner, adding to the vibrant quality of life in Winter Park, celebrating decades of continuously providing a one-of-a-kind, innovative, award-winning education centered on supporting its students while helping to propel its graduates into their careers in the ever-expanding world of entertainment, media, arts, and technology. And whereas Full Sail provides an education like no other institution by offering immersive teaching methods in both real-world production studios and classrooms, as well as an online learning environment. And whereas Full Sail is honoring its most distinguished graduates and Hall of Fame inductees, Michael Cardwell, Fela Davis, Aaron Eberhardt, Chris Kelly, Mark Kilborn, and Sean McCabe. Now therefore, I, Steve Leary, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the City of Winter Park in the state of Florida, do hereby proclaim Thursday, March 12th, 2020, as Full Sail University Hall of Fame Day in the city of Winter Park, Florida. Congratulations, guys. Thank you all. Good brother. How are you?
Thanks for being here.
Are you kidding me? I owe you a call.
It's awesome. Take a photo.
We'll open it?
Yeah. Very good. Thank you, brothers. Love you like crazy. Oh, this is Jackie will take it right there for us. Thank you, Mayor Leary. You've been a wonderful supporter. You've been a fan of our students and our graduates, and we're forever grateful for you and for the city for that. Buddies, those of you who were here last year, he's a good man. He's a very good man. Those of you who were here last year witnessed pretty much a miracle. Let me give you a quick backstory. I'll make it really fast. Years ago, when Full Sail was just an infant, we acquired a 26-foot GMC motor coach, and we gutted it and turned it into a remote recording truck, right? So we could run around, back up to a rehearsal room or an apartment or whatever and record. And it was a way we could afford to expand our services to our students and do more at that point in time. Decades later, we retired that truck. It was tired. It was time to move on to bigger and better studios as we grew. And so we gifted it to a high school up north that had a great production program. Well, last year, the Hall of Fame members spent only the good Lord above knows how much time finding an exact replica of that truck, painting it exactly like the old one. We called it the Dream Machine, right? It stood for so much that Full Sail intended to be with and for our students, their dreams and their passions. So the Dream Machine, as you can see up here, they found it, they recreated it, it became a phoenix. Out of the ashes, it rose because literally the old one burned to the ground. So at the end of Hall of Fame, the Hall of Famers surprised us and had this driving across the back lot with the motorcade. It was a moment. Tears were flowing. It was one of the most significant gestures that spoke to a history of serving students and of committing ourselves, the faculty and the staff, of committing ourselves to our students' dreams and our graduates' progress. And there wasn't a dry eye in the place in that moment, right, Brad? Sir. Yeah. So let's see what that truck has been doing since it arrived back here at its home, over the last year.
Keep it steady, man. I'm trying to shoot this Hall of Fame thing they asked us to do.
I was told everyone would be in costume.
For your information, I bought some new shoes for this bit. Plug this into the cigarette lighter for me, would you, Steven?
Sure thing, buddy. Man, I can't believe it's already Hall of Fame 11.
I know, right? It's gonna be step 11R.
It's 11. They're pronounced as L's.
Oh, like stellar.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the 11th Annual Hall of Fame.
If all goes well, we'll already be there by the time you're seeing this. You saved us a spot, right?
Every year for the past 11 years, Full Sail celebrates the best of its best by inducting new members into its Hall of Fame. And to this year's inductees, congratulations from all of us, already a part of this amazing group. What?
Oh, nothing. I thought you were going to remind us again how you were in Hall of Fame, too.
Come on, guys. It doesn't matter what year you get in. We're all a family. Just because I was like the 7th member inducted doesn't mean anything. Year 2. But you guys wouldn't know anything about that.
Because most of them were 12. To all the new Hoffers, it's your time to shine. The hugs are free, the love is real, and we are so happy to have you a part of the Hall of Fame.
To all you students and other folks watching online, we wish you the best. Enjoy the ride, have a blast, and have a step 11R time. See you at the after party.
Yikes. Somebody's turn to change Baby Yoda.
Cully, time to change Baby Yoda.
Now it's time for a close encounter with our first Hall of Fame 11 inductee.
When I was 10 years old, I was at a IndyCar race with my family. And I remember I took a picture of a car, like driving around the track. And my dad was into photography, and he looked at my picture and he's like, that is a really good picture, it's good framing. I remember that day specifically because I thought, wow, I think I'm actually pretty good at this. I never really considered myself a creative person. You know, that was probably the earliest memory I have of wanting to get into film and video. So in high school and as a kid in my teens, I was pretty lost. I turned to alcohol and drugs and making a lot of bad choices. In my 20s, I hung out with a lot of artists and musicians who also were making bad choices, drugs and alcohol, but I really admired how they were making something that they could look at or listen to that was like cool and I felt proud of. They inspired me to find my own art, which was video. I think the most important person that's helped me on my journey is probably my mom, because she's the one that found Full Sail for me. She's the one that, you know, supported me while I was here and believed in me. I literally came from rehab to Full Sail like almost the next day, and I haven't gone back to that life ever since. So after graduation and being in Orlando, I worked freelance in some different jobs. One of those jobs was filming a seminar at the Airport Marriott. The guy who owned that company, his name is Sean, and at that time, Sean had 11 clients that were all in that room. He had a big job where we were gonna go around the country and film a movie about all of his most successful clients. I was like, I don't think I can do this. And he's like, dude, just quit your job, start your own company. I'll help you, I'll mentor you, I'll give you some referrals, you're gonna be fine, you can do this. I was like, all right, screw it, let's do it, you know? So I took the money from that job and a little bit of other money I had saved up, and I started the company with that. Bo was the very first person that I hired at the company. I don't know, for him, maybe he was a little bit worried, like, oh, I'm working out of this dude's house. Like, I don't know how this thing's gonna turn out.
He was pretty honest. He's like, look, I don't have an office or anything like that, but this is what it is, and if you're okay with that, then I think we can move forward. Meeting Mike at the cafe for the interview was really nerve-wracking. I didn't know what I was getting into, but when you meet Mike, you kind of feel like you've known him for a while because he's just talks to you with a smile and is interested in you and what you're capable of doing.
All the people that work with me at Digital Brew, like, they all are really passionate about what they do. And I think those are the types of people I want to surround myself with. Bo just has a special place in my heart because, you know, he's been there since the beginning. You know, he probably took a chance on me. I just love having him there. I'm so appreciative for him every day. I tell him that all the time, but, you know, here it is again, Bo. You can hear it again now. I appreciate you, man.
It was a huge honor for him to ask me to induct him. We've always kind of been in this together. Now, 8 years later, I'm super proud of all the work we've done.
When I came to Full Sail, you know, I wanted to work on cool stuff. I wanted to be in film and video and movies or, you know, whatever format that takes, because I want to make stuff that I feel proud of and that that is like cool, you know? Now to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, just like, it's like I came here with a dream to just be a normal person. It's not just a place where I started my career. It's a place where I started like my new life. So this just feels so good. I'm so humbled, and it just means so much.
To induct Michael Cardwell, please welcome animation director at Digital Brew, Bo Benson.
I knew it was just a matter of time. He's the hardest working guy I know, and an awesome example of the type of creative force this place can develop. I can't think of anyone who deserves it more. It is my honor to induct Michael Cardwell into the Full Sail University Hall of Fame.
Bo, you left your phone up here, I think. I gotta get mine out now. My notes here. So anyway, thank you, Bo, and thank you, Full Sail, for this incredible honor. I'd like to just first give a round of applause for Platinum and the whole Full Sail team. This is pretty sweet, right? You guys did an amazing job. First, I want to congratulate all of the other inductees, not just the ones from this year, but all the ones that have come before me. I've really enjoyed getting to spend some time with you guys this week and getting to know you, and you've not only an inspiration to me, but to everyone here at Full Sail. So thank you guys for always coming back and helping me and everyone else. You know, no one gets to where they are on their own, though, and there's a lot of people that have helped me along the way. So I want to share a little bit about my story, a little bit more. Some of this stuff you already saw in the video, but I'll tell a little bit more about that, and to the students so they know a little bit more about how I got to be standing here today. So things were pretty good for me as a kid. You know, one of my earliest memories is something that my dad used to always make us say, and that was this phrase that if you think you can, and if you think you can't, you can't. And I always thought that was so stupid that he'd make us say that all the time. But now as an adult, I realize how incredibly important that is and what the meaning of that is. And that's really helped shape a lot of my life and my success today. So thank you for always making me say that, Dad. And you know, things were looking pretty good for me until I got to be 13 years old. And like you heard a little bit about in the video, I had a traumatic event happen to me that really messed me up. And instead of dealing with that, you know, the right way, I chose to deal with that with drugs. And for the next 14 years, I spent lost and making a lot of bad choices. But one good choice that I did make was that's when I found video. And I hung out with a lot of artists and musicians like you saw in the video, and one of those guys was this guy named Mike the Bastard. And he's the one that introduced me to art and showed me how cool and rewarding being creative could be, and I'm eternally grateful to him for that. And even though now I'm doing cool stuff with art, eventually the drugs caught up with me, and at 27 years old, I had hit rock bottom, and I had to make a change in my life. And so I decided to check myself into rehab and give this sobriety thing a try. And of course, my mom is like always freaking out and worried about if I'm gonna be okay. And you know, I don't know how many sleepless nights you had during that time, Mom. I'm really sorry I put you through all that, but thank you for sticking by me through all that. But anyway, while I was in rehab, she came to me with this brochure for this place called Full Sail. And she's like, look, like I found this place. You can go to school and make video your job. You can get in and out in a year and start working. And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds pretty sweet. So the day that I got out of rehab is the day that I moved to Orlando and started Full Sail. And when I came to Full Sail, I didn't want to just quit drugs. I wanted to make like a real change in all my decisions. And so I decided when I got here, I was only gonna hang out with students that were doing great work and that were really passionate about school. And one of those people is Jonathan Berkey, who's here with me today. And because I surrounded myself with people like Jonathan, I got a lot of opportunities to make really cool projects here at Full Sail, and it made my time at Full Sail here very rich. And like you saw in the video, when I first got here, my dream was just to be a productive member of society and like get some kind of job in video. I don't even care what it was. But then after being here for a while, I was like, you know, I could probably set my sights a little bit higher than that. So I started looking at all of the most successful graduates and what they'd done. And a common theme seemed to be that they either moved to New York or Los Angeles, and that's where they got their start to be successful. So I had set my sights on New York, and I'd looking for apartments and internships. And then another dream of mine came true, and that was my dream of being a father. And unfortunately, Aiden's mom and I were not together when he was born, so I traded my dream gladly to go to New York for my dream to be a father. And Aiden, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me, buddy, and I love you so much. Thanks for being here, man. But you know, so I've been in Orlando ever since I graduated from Full Sail, and at that time it was a lot harder to make it in Orlando. There's just not as many opportunities. There just weren't as many opportunities here as there were in those other markets. But luckily at Full Sail, we have a great support system here for us, and that started for me with the instructors. And the instructor that helped me the most was Pat Bishop. Pat Bishop got me some of my first jobs after graduation. And she always was like so excited to see me and like, you know, always wondering what I was doing. And she made me believe that, you know, I was gonna be somebody, that I was gonna be important. And I'm getting kind of emotional thinking about it, but thank you, Pat, so much, because that meant a lot to me. So after graduation, I worked freelance for a couple of years, and then an opportunity opened up here at Full Sail. They were gonna put a couple of classes online and kind of see what happened, and I can see that worked out pretty well for you guys. But they needed a content team to make the video and animation for the online courses, and Luis Garcia took a chance on me and hired me for that department. And I was so excited because this was my first like real full-time job at a really cool company doing really great work. And I finally felt like I was gonna make it here in Orlando. And if having my first, awesome job wasn't enough, Full Sail is also the place where I met my wife, Kathy. And Kathy is the exact woman that I always thought I would marry ever since I was a little kid. She's an amazing mother and partner, and she's always so supportive of me. She encourages me to take chances, and having your own business, there's a lot of that. And she puts up with all the late nights and me being away from her, and is very supportive of me, and I really couldn't have done this without you, Kathy. So after 5 years of being at Full Sail, my big freelance client, Sean Greeley that you saw in the video, he had a big opportunity to do this documentary, and he wanted me to quit my job at Full Sail, and as you saw in the video, I decided I was gonna go ahead and do that. And honestly, I was a little bit worried that Sean was just gonna try to get me to quit, and then maybe he wouldn't actually help me, but he did. He helped me so much more than I could ever imagine, and with his mentorship, he's the one that helped me become the businessman that I am today. And owning a business is really hard. There's lots of freaking out and then lots of celebrations. It's never just like, okay, everything's fine now. But lucky for me, I have an amazing team that I get to work with every day at Digital Brew. And all of the work that you see on our portfolio and our site, that's really the production team's work. And all of the amazing brands that we get to work with, that's because of the business team at Digital Brew. I'm not the best at Digital Brew, and I don't want to be. All of the people that work at Digital Brew are better at their jobs than I am. And because of that, we lift each other up and have made an amazing company. And I'd like you guys to all just stand up. If you guys don't mind, can you give them a round of applause? We got a lot of Full Sail graduates in here too. Thanks, guys. So it turned out staying in Orlando wasn't such a bad thing. Yeah. Most of our clients are not even in Orlando, and actually we work with some of the biggest brands in the world. I've never even met them in person. And not only do I have the best job that I never even knew that I wanted, but now I've also created a place in Orlando where other artists and Full Sail grads can come to work. And that feels really good to be able to do that for this community. And to the students, especially ones that are out there struggling, these are the things that I'm kind of hoping you'll take away from this. First, think that you can. I know that sounds like some hippie bullcrap, but trust me, it works. Okay, because if you think that you can't, then you've already failed. Your past, or maybe even where you're at right now, does not have to define you. Every day you wake up, you have a choice about the person that you want to be. Find a mentor. There's a lot of people out there that want to help you, including me, and a lot of times all you have to do is ask. The relationships you're making with your classmates and instructors here are special. So take good care of them, because you never know where those relationships are going to lead or how they're going to lift you up. Know that you can make it anywhere. You don't have to go to New York or Los Angeles or get a job at a big studio right after graduation. If you have to move back to your home country or your hometown, or life throws you a curveball, I'm here to show you you can still make it. Realize that you aren't the best, and that's a good thing. Surround yourself with people that are better than you, and together, you'll lift yourselves up to do better things than you could have ever imagined possible. And most importantly, I know some of you are out there struggling with addiction or poverty, family, maybe it's depression, anxiety. I want you to know that you're not alone and that you're gonna be okay. If you've decided to come to Full Sail, you've already made at least one good choice, and you have an opportunity to do amazing things here. And yes, it's gonna be hard, but with hard work, I'm here to tell you, you can do it. So thank you to everyone that's helped me along on my journey. I really consider this our award because I could not have done this without you guys. And thank you to Full Sail. You've always welcomed me with open arms, and this is the place where I got my second chance to become the man that I am today. And you've had so many chapters in my life. To now be a chapter in your book means more than you could ever imagine, so thank you.
Let's check out our next Hall of Fame inductee.
I could be in the studio from 11 to 11, you know, but it's my world. I get to run it. Everything that I do centers around audio, even though it's in different aspects. Whether it's live sound was the bulk of my career so far, but now I've gotten into podcasting and doing more studio work. Now my current highlight more so in my life is the one-of-one production studio. 2 rooms, control room and basically a live room. But in the live room, we can do a 4-person podcast. We could take that table away and do a 5-piece band. I was in band class in the 10th grade, and I looked on the floor and I saw this magazine saying, best audio schools. I'm thumbing through and I find Full Sail. That was when I knew in the 10th grade, so my last 2 years at school, I was like, I know where I'm going. It was no other choice for me. It changed my life. It was such a creative space to be in, period. It was an amazing time. All the gigs that I really want to mix and the tours that I see come through, those guys were either from New York or LA. So I had to make a move, and I went to New York. I hear from Christian McBride on my LinkedIn and my direct messenger. I knew who Christian McBride was, who was at the time was a 4-time Grammy Award-winning jazz bassist.
I realized that all the sound engineers I knew, that most of the ones that I really enjoyed working with all lived in LA. And I was like, how could there not be anyone in New York I can work with? And I did what I have only done once in my entire life. I went to LinkedIn and I punched in, audio FOH New York. And the first person I saw was Fela. And I thought, bam, let me contact her.
That was it. He was like, oh, well, my big band is playing at 92nd Street Y. You got the gig. I was like, oh my goodness, LinkedIn? This is gonna crack people up. They'll never believe me.
Fela has the most striking laugh. It comes from here, and anybody that laughs that hard, that strongly, that says something about their heart and their spirit and their character. The first time I heard a board recording of one of our shows, she said, hey, I recorded the show, check it out, tell me what you think. And I mean, it sounded like an already mixed and mastered record. I remember thinking, man, we could put this bad boy out now. Let's print this bad boy.
For him to give me the opportunity, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do stuff that other people aren't doing. And he recognized that. I can never thank him enough for that opportunity. And I look forward to doing that for somebody else as well.
When she becomes the big superstar that she is going to become, and I can't afford her anymore, she's still going to be one of my close friends. I just love her to death, and I'm so proud of her.
Getting inducted, I had it up on my vision board that I wanted to be in the Hall of Fame. This is just a culmination of all that sacrifice, sleeping in a car in between gigs, everything. It's just the grind. This is the celebration. Now to get to mark off something on the right side of my dry erase. It had been there so long that I had to use alcohol alcohol to get it out.
Please welcome to the stage owner of 23 DB Productions, engineer, producer, and musician, Dennis Orenbekoff.
I didn't prep the speech, but bear with me. First of all, congrats to all of you who are getting inducted today. You're doing an amazing job. Second of all, Fayla and I have a third partner. She couldn't make it today, but it's her birthday today. Joy, we love you. Happy birthday from Fayla and I. And yeah, what you saw on the screen is actually true. I was there with Fayla, sleeping in a car between gigs. We actually put that whiteboard in my kitchen 6 years ago. And one of her craziest dreams was inducted in Hall of Fame today in like 2 minutes. So Fayla Christian couldn't be here today, but he got a...
We're going to work on audio just for a second.
Yes, yes.
I'm so sorry about this.
That's
Tell
fine.
me what I can do to help, Darren.
Yes.
We'll be on standby here for just a second. This is awesome, by the way. And you look marvelous.
Thank you. Likewise, likewise, likewise.
You look amazing. So we'll just stand by for a second. Did I leave my mic open maybe by accident? Check, check.
Check.
Was
We're
it
good to
me?
go?
It was
Woo!
me! It was me!
Christian couldn't make it today, but we got a special video, so let's take a look.
Fayla Davis, man, you are so incredible. You have not only been such a wonderful part of my career, but I see these young audio engineers coming up and they looking at you going, I want to do that. So thank you for all of the inspiration, not only that you've given to me and all the guys that I've worked with, but for all these young up-and-comers. You are amazing.
It is my honor to induct Fayla Davis into Full Sail University Hall of Fame.
Wow, thank you, Full Sail Platinum. Wow, you're another family to me as well. Thank you to Full Sail, Gary Jones, John Phelps, Bill Hevner, Ed Haddock. Thank you for what you created. When I came here with my mom and sister who are in the audience, when I was 15 and in the 10th grade, that was it. Like, I knew what I had to do. I saw the guidance that was here, and the stories that you guys even told about trying to get this school going. We see how wonderful it is, but still people had something negative to say about it. That to me was a true test of, yeah, you still gotta push. Because if somebody didn't want that to happen when it was so much smaller, I mean, I'm only gonna take this towards my whole life. And now just seeing everything come together and the recognition that sometimes you never even think you're gonna get, it's just a special place. Thank you so much. Thank you to my parents for always telling me I could do whatever I wanted to do. There was never any negativity about wanting to be in the entertainment industry and be an engineer. It's just work hard. And my sister, who put me on to hip hop and all the music stuff. She was 7 years older, so she just put me on everything, all the Tribe Called Quest stuff, all the old school hip hop. So thank you for that, because that made me want to do this, be in this. Thank you to Dennis and my other business partner, Joy. You guys just got me through so many things and owning a business, and I definitely love not doing that alone. Having help is, yes, have a team, a good team around you. Yeah, nothing beats that. And happy birthday, Joy. And to Christian McBride for changing my life, giving me the chance that I didn't know if I would ever get, and just believing in it, and going on LinkedIn. Thank you to all the Hall of Famers. You guys have been amazing. Nothing but love, nothing but a helping hand. It's just been amazing. Thank you to the Full Sail, the whole of Full Sail, but especially Aldonia, Sherry and Sean, Brad Floyd, and which Brad Floyd, I must say, he told me to get on LinkedIn. And he told me for years. Actually, he told me for like a year and a half, and I was like, nobody goes on that. So thank you so much. And that's another test. You have to listen. You know, sometimes, you know, I didn't want one thing to go by to say that, oh, I didn't want to not try everything to get into this. You have to try it all. And even if it doesn't sound like something that will work, try it all to the students. Thank you to the Sound Girls organization, Carrie and Michelle. Michelle, fellow Hall of Famer. Again, you guys, that changed my business life as well, because through that organization, I was able to get clients like Live Nation and Atlantic Records and stuff like that. So thank you so much to those ladies, and the inspiration that I see online from them is amazing. Thank you to Artist Relations, Randy and Tanya Fuchs, for always hooking me up with some great gear, and the partnerships that you have with all the different gear that I endorse and stuff. It's just been a great relationship, and thank you. Thank you to Eric Ree, who is my video mentor. He taught me everything with video, just how to tell a story with a camera. And I mean, I'm an audio engineer, so that was just like kind of starting from scratch, and it's something that's a big part now of the business. So thank you so much also to Kim Burse and Quiz. They were both with the Beyonce team, and they've helped me out in so many different ways. Another thing of just keeping in touch with people. To the students, again, when you find dope people that's doing dope things, try and hang around them. And actually, one of the biggest things, even with getting my stuff on LinkedIn, was coming back. This is about 15 years ago. I came back here for a Buford Jones mixing seminar, and it was there that he said, record all of your mixes. And that too changed my career, because you have to go back and listen to get better. And then going back and listening and then posting and the whole LinkedIn thing, like
that changed my life again. And it was through here, the amazing seminars and the educators that come through here. Listen to them. Just take those seeds of knowledge and you never know where it's gonna grow. And yeah, my last thought is from one of my favorite hip hop artists of all time, which is Nipsey Hussle. And this quote is, double up 3-4 times. Never let a hard time humble you. Never let it humble you. It'll always be something that'll come up and you think, oh, how am I gonna get through it? But you will. Don't let it humble you. Keep going. Keep going. Thank you, guys.
All right, Space Cadets, please welcome back to the stage your Full Sail University president, Gary Jones.
Check, check, check. Okay. Save it, you know me already. You know, when I climbed off this spaceship today, two things struck me right away. And man, have these first two recipients, inductees, ever brought that to life. One, there's air on this planet called Full Sail. Right? I was able to take my helmet off and breathe right away. The second thing that struck me is there is love. Isn't there? You guys, Jackie and I are sitting here on the two seats. We're looking at each other like, my gosh, we're sitting here weeping, and this is only the first two graduates to come up. We're gonna have to have makeup back before long. This is crazy. You guys are just so soulful, just so soulful. Thank you for the great, great stories that you told. Awesome. So, John Phelps, Ed Haddock, Bill Hevner. These three names, Phelan mentioned, these are the co-chairmen, the co-CEOs of Full Sail University. And they are the guys that meet with us once a month, the leadership team, that care greatly about this place and that constantly do what we need to do as an organization to move forward in the best possible way. The support they bring to the students and the graduates and the facilities and the whole thing that we call Full Sail University is unparalleled. You know, when we have people that tour here, new people, like many of you may have toured for the first time this week, they always say, wow, what incredible facilities, what incredible gear. But that's the exhale. The inhale immediately afterwards is, but what a spirit this place has about it. The people are so kind and caring, and the staff, they seem to really enjoy their work. And the students, they're so engaged and creative and driven. It's just a thing. Isn't it, grads? And students and staff, it just is. And so John, Ed, and Bill are the guys that are behind this thing, moving us forward, backing us up on our crazy ideas and our new degree programs that we think up, and all things that are Full Sail that keeps us moving in a great positive direction. My understanding is, correct me if I'm wrong, Bill and Ed could not be here this evening. Is that correct? Correct. John Phelps, would you stand, my brother? John David Phelps. John is also the founder of Full Sail. This is his crazy, whacked-out idea to do education like this. And it was him that put together this accelerated career, educational model from the very beginning and said that if we're going to build a school that's serving people with passion, we can't make, with all due respect, we can't make this a 4 or 5, 6 year program. It's got to be focused, driven, because these students will be focused and driven. They know what they want. They want to get here, get their education, right, Sean Moore? And get out and get to it. Right, Chris? Yeah. And so this was his notion about how to go about education, not for everybody, but for people that are driven towards entertainment, media production, emerging technologies. So John, incredible, incredible vision. Thank you for that from day one. Thank you, thank you. And Jay Noble, I'm off script. Sue me after this is over, buddy. But Esther Phelps, Esther was the very first employee at Full Sail. And yeah. I have, you know how we have those crazy license things, the little employee number 001s, we have those, all the employees do. I paid her to go away so I could have the 001 tag in my car. But she really is the very first employee. And in those early days, it took everything she had to keep this thing upright, right? To keep it moving forward in the waters and not sink. And John couldn't have done it without her in those initial days. She served as everything. She was the receptionist, the admissions representative, the real estate finder-getter. When we had to lease a classroom, she was everything. And so I just want to take a moment to recognize you, Esther, and the leadership you exhibited. You have always been a fearless, unstoppable force, believing in Full Sail from day one. So thank you for that. Would you please stand? Dennis, can you find it in your heart to forgive me for that microphone mistake, buddy? I am so sorry. So sorry. Okay, moving on, yes? Deep breath. Everybody exhale. Okay, here we go. The Icon Award. 2 nights ago, we awarded one person the Industry Icon Award. And this has been, I think, the 5th or 6th year that we've done that. And so let me tell you what the Icon Award is all about. The Icon Award at Full Sail University honors industry icons who serve to inspire countless others with a commitment to sharing their success for the benefit of those who wish to follow in these icons' footsteps. Additionally, this award, the Icon Award, recognizes those who have truly given a wealth of heart and dedication to the faculty of Full Sail, the staff, the student body, and the graduates of this incredible, incredible school. So past Icon Award winners have been Claire Global, and tonight, Road Staff Manager Leon Hopkins is in the audience. Would you please stand, Leon? Hold your applause, please. Leon, where are you, dude? Back there, Leon. Stay with me, brother. Stand if you would. Don Wershpa, Vice President of the Music Division of Solid State Logic, an amazing company. Don Wershpa, where are you, brother? Scanning, scanning. Yell if you're here. Okay, Don Wershpa. Al Schlesinger, also an Icon Award member who couldn't be with us tonight, but I know he sends his love. And also legendary recording engineer and producer Bruce Swedeen. Now, Bruce couldn't be with us either, but he sent a video, which we're going to show in just a moment. Bruce has engineered and produced with the great, great Quincy Jones. And side by side, they have worked together to record beautiful recordings of Ella Fitzgerald, Count Basie, Michael Jackson, Jennifer Lopez, and a list that just goes on for days that's won Grammys and awards near and far. Bruce, what would you like to say to us, brother?
To the students at Full Sail that I don't know, keep working hard. Just remember what Quincy and I say, music is the only true magic in life. I can't imagine anything else that I would do. And I'm a little older than most of these students. I'm 86 years old and love music. Music has kept me going from day one. By the way, I love Full Sail.
That's a gift, is it not? Yes. Wow, wow. 2 nights ago, John Couch received the Industry Icon Award from Full Sail University. This man has been, well, he was the 54th person hired personally by Steve Jobs at Apple. That's how significant this guy is. He is passionate about education. He's passionate about helping youth around the world improve their chances of having great lives, and he's just a champion of heart, soul, the love of God, and the love of people. Here's what happened.
John pioneered a relationship with Apple that was a trend-setting, rule-breaking, amazing moment in time, because by working together, Full Sail and Apple, we created the first one-to-one collegiate initiative where every student upon enrolling gets a computer that becomes their tool, their music mix station, their video editing device, their creative device, their everything device. And that was a pioneering moment. That was an iconic moment for Full Sail, and I think for Apple too. Would you please welcome the Full Sail Icon Award winner of the year, Mr. John Couch.
I have traveled all over the world, multiple universities in Asia, Australia, Africa, everywhere. There is no school that I've seen in the last 18 years as Vice President of Education at Apple that even comes close to what Full Sail is doing.
Brother. Stand and take a bow right back here. Thank you for always believing in us, brother. Always. Sponsors. We love sponsors, right, Michael, Kathy? We love sponsors. There have been such faithful sponsors, they're on the screen in front of you right now, that have stood with us for Hall of Fame year in and year out. Most of them have been with us for all 11 years. These sponsors help us with everything that goes into putting this great week, not night, but week of things together, week of events together for our students and our graduates. So thank you from our hearts, our beautiful sponsors, for all that you do. I'm going to call out one of those sponsors. WWE has been a great believer in Full Sail. I think we're in our 7th year of having a relationship with them. They do their NXT series right here on our campus, and up until recently they did a series or an event. They recorded an event once a month, which is a big deal. It takes days to set up, takes an evening to shoot all the different entertainment events. About 6 months ago, we began doing a weekly live televised version of their NXT series once a week. Now, why does that matter? It matters because every time, beyond them being a great organization, every time we do that, somewhere around 50 current Full Sail students work side by side with their production professionals to make this live broadcast happen while making the live event with a live audience happen in this very room. Think about a student that after 24 months has had the opportunity to work on 12, 15, 24 live televised events. Have that on their resume. And then you couple that with WWE having given over $420,000 in scholarships directly to students with financial need that have demonstrated incredible guts, stamina, and commitment to coming and working side by side for no money, learning, interning with their staff over those many months. So that is one incredible organization that's done great things for our students, and we're so grateful for you and for the other sponsors that help make this happen every year. Thank you. A round of applause, please, for our sponsors. Amazing. We have 11 online students in the front row, do we not? Yes? Yes, right here you are. You guys are champions, yes, because you're online students working on degrees here at Full Sail, right? but also because 146 of you, your fellow online students, all applied for this opportunity, this challenge to come here, for us to bring you here for Hall of Fame, right? And you are the 11 out of 146 essays as to why this would matter to you that won. So first, obviously you're driven. Secondly, you're great writers. Third, you're here, right? Which means everything. And fourth, most of you have a GPA of somewhere in the neighborhood of 4.0 and a global professionalism score of 100% or so. Ladies and gentlemen, as you stand, would you please give it up for Full Sail's online students? Take a bow. Take a bow. Amazing. Just amazing. Jackie, bring out the hook if I go too long, okay? All the music you're hearing tonight, am I on cue, Jackie? Am I doing good? Okay. All the music you're hearing tonight, as our graduates, our Hall of Fame members enter and leave the stage, was written and performed by Full Sail current students. Is that cool? So let's hear, let's hear a sample of the songs that they've assembled, the music they've assembled for this. That's awesome. Are you in the room? Where are you guys? Are you here? Are the songwriters in the room? If you are, stand, please stand. Yee-hee! That's really good stuff. It's really good. Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you. Did you turn around and wave at them? Give them a wave. That's really good. You ready to meet our next Hall of Fame inductee? Let's do it.
When I was in high school, a friend of mine introduced me to StarCraft, and I just got hooked immediately. I loved the storylines, I loved the characters, I loved the gameplay. Once I got into college, I started playing Diablo, and that was the very start of my love affair with Blizzard games. Blizzard games are probably one of the reasons I got into gaming as a profession, and one of the reasons why it was the dream studio for me. When I entered into my master's program here, I knew that I wanted to take this more seriously than I had ever taken anything before. I was about to invest a lot of money into something, and it was an investment into me. And as it turns out, I did work harder than I had ever worked at anything before. And I think a lot of that was just because of the pure joy of just having the classes that I took, feeling like it was my calling, feeling like the professors and my fellow students just got it. They understood what it meant to have something that you just love so much and want to be able to make a career out of it.
I was working at a company in Florida called ZG Games that was partnered with Full Sail, and we had a partnership where instead of doing final project, you could do a 3-month internship with us. I'd been in the industry for a while, but I hadn't been a producer all that long when she came on, and so we've sort of gotten to grow together, both as people and as professionals. When we started, she would come to me with a lot of questions, and honestly, I didn't know the answers either, so we just kind of figured it out together.
Max is one of my best friends. He took a chance on me, he believed in me, he was extremely confident that this was gonna work out. Everything was gonna be amazing. I owe everything to my time and the people that I worked with at ZG and Disney and PlayStation. I would not be the same person without them. For me, esports, it's unlike anything else I've ever worked on before. I've never had so much fun working watching the people and watching the dedication and watching this incredible eternal pursuit of greatness, right? I mean, we see this all the time in our sports that, you know, that we watch every day. The NFL has this, the NBA, you know, MLB, Major League Baseball. Finally, the people who were home spending all their time on those video games, the people like me who were just trying to beat this boss, who were just trying to achieve this thing, we finally have a way to express that, right? We finally have a way to earn prize money. We have a way to have the spotlight and hold the trophy up and feel this great sense of accomplishment. And so for me, this is my sports. This is my Super Bowl. This is my Olympics.
She just wears her emotions on her sleeve. When she's happy and she's excited about something, the entire room gets behind it very quickly. And it's been fun through her career watching her hone that so that when she's frustrated, channel that into something that can be more productive and just letting people know this isn't right and we have to fix it for the product, but still having that enthusiasm of saying, we're gonna do this, guys, let's do it, and getting everybody on board. And she knows what gamers want, she knows what she likes, but she's also able to step outside what she specifically likes and knows what users overall would want to do and would like, and is dedicated to the product.
My gut said that this is where you want to be. This is who you want to be with. This is the life that you want to have. And you get to have it. You actually get to have that life. And so now being part of Hall of Fame, it's just such an incredible honor and incredible validation that that I could do it, you know? I could do it.
Max Volker could not be with us physically tonight, so he's going to be the inductor for Aaron via video. Let's watch.
Aaron, I knew from day one that you had it, but you've exceeded all my expectations. I'm so proud of everything you've done, and I'm really proud to call you a friend. It is now my honor to induct Aaron Eberhardt into the Full Sail University Hall of Fame.
You are awesome in every way. You can never fail. You can only win. It's all in your heart.
All right, as you could see from the video, I cry very easily, so we are gonna try and make it through this together. Whew. So, this week has been a pretty incredible and surreal experience for me. If you had told little 13-year-old Erin that she would be all grown up and on the stage and now working in video games for a living, I don't think she would have believed it. I grew up in a very small town in Ohio. I am the oldest of 7 siblings. And so I had an incredibly full, awesome, wonderful life growing up with my parents and my siblings. And my dad was super into video games when I was a kid, and he shared that love with all of us. We were crowded around the computer, watching him play Doom at probably an age that was a little younger than what the ESRB may have recommended at the time. But you know what? We all turned out fine, right? So. So I say that maniacally. I want to say a great shout out to my whole family that is here. Like I have, there's like 8 of them, 9 of them, 10 of them here. I love them. So Full Sail was my second shot at school. I went to school at a traditional 4-year school in Ohio called Miami University. I loved Miami University. I had a ton of fun, arguably probably too much fun at points. It's where I discovered my love of World of Warcraft, which is one of the reasons I'm here today. So I played a lot of WoW, had a lot of fun. I was a journalism major, but I didn't know what I wanted to do, and so I just kind of chose journalism because I was pretty decent at writing, and so I started out and I was doing PR and event work for amusement parks in Ohio, which sounds super fun, but in actuality, it's super hot. You're out in the parks in the summertime all summer long, and it's just sweating like crazy, and I was writing press releases for the same things over and over again, and I wasn't happy. So I had found out about this little school called Full Sail, and I decided to come down and check it out. I did the tour with my then boyfriend who was going to school here, and I completely fell in love. Full Sail completely changed my opinion of what school could be. And so I entered into the master's program. And it's really hard to believe that 9.5 years ago I was standing in this very room for graduation where I had the honor of speaking on behalf of my class. And looking back at the words that I wrote, I can't help but feel like I've changed entirely, and also not at all. I want to read the introduction to you that I wrote. All right. Everybody's advice was just breathe. Okay. I want to read the introduction to you that I wrote, partly because I think it tells a great story of how it felt on the brink of the unknown, and partly because I think it serves as a pretty cool time capsule, because it happened in this room. We were one of the first classes to graduate in this building. So here we go. Our journey together has been an incredible experience as we went from new students, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in our first day of class, to professionals in the industry. Our growth was never an easy process. Many of us went through moments of confusion and frustration as we found our niche in the world of game development. Some of us had moments of clarity and inspiration that kept us going through those dark patches. I remember the last night of the Game Developers Conference in San Francisco in March, where we all sat down together and told stories of the week. We had met idols, face to face, people who had made games that we grew up with and inspired us to go into gaming as a career. Others had been sloughed off by HR reps at the companies we had always dreamed of working for. That night we shared our stories. We realized getting into the industry was not going to be easy, and we were not ready. Our passion and determination were not enough. We had only 6 months left to figure out what was going to make us stand out in the sea of newly graduated students come October. I remember feeling a mix of terror and joy and anticipation in that moment 10 years ago. I wasn't sure what to expect when I got out there and when I actually started working with real professionals, but I can confidently say with all of my heart that it has been better than I could have ever imagined. Working on something that allows me to express my passion and my love of gaming and complex problem solving and work every day has been an incredible privilege. I've met lifelong friends, including the fellow alumni I now call my family. I've traveled the globe and I've visited places I only dreamed of seeing one day. I stood in front of a booming roar of crowds of thousands cheering for something that I had a direct hand in making. Millions of people around the world have used products I worked on. I'm so humbled to know that the hard work that I put in since graduation has made people happier and have connected people around the world. I think we could all use a little more fun in our lives, and I get to make it for a living. I'm so incredibly thankful that Full Sail showed me this wacky, warm, and challenging industry, and I can't imagine a world where I don't get to work in games in my life. Now my work has given me the gift of an all-new joy in teaching and giving back to the students who are following my footsteps close behind as they start their own journey. Being here at Full Sail and working with these smart, funny, inspiring students is now my way of saying thank you. Thank you for helping me realize my dreams and giving me happiness in my life. Thank you for supporting me and cheering me on. Thank you for challenging me and making me a better person. I see myself reflected in the curious faces of the next generation, and I hope you enjoy talking about our industry as much as I do. Welcome to the party. I can't wait to work with all of you someday. I also want to thank the Full Sail faculty. Katrina, you're my best friend. I love you. Thank you so much. The alumni staff, Gary and the leadership team, and Platinum for inviting me back to campus and for showing me how much you still believe in me with this beautiful award. This is just the beginning of a beautiful, lifelong partnership to teach and inspire students. Thank you to my family, not only for being here tonight, but for making me the determined, strong-willed little girl that grew up into a confident and happy woman I am today. Thank you, David, for weathering the late nights and long trips and for helping me realize just how great I could be. Thank you, Max. I know you couldn't be here. I'm so sorry. I wish you were here. My heart is with you and Tara, and I know your heart is with me too. And last, thank you to the fellow alumni who have welcomed me with open arms and have trusted me to join this incredible group of talented and inspiring humans who change lives every day with their work. It is an honor to accept this award this evening, and I can't wait to go out and make you all proud as I continue to grow and change, but also maybe stay a little bit the same too. Thank you.
All right, Trekkies, it's time for our next inductee video.
I grew up out kind of in the middle of nowhere, out in the country. Where I live, there wasn't a lot to do per se, in like the living in a city sense. So you really made your own to do. I got really into like skateboarding, and I would see these skate videos that would be cut together, and you know, these sort of montages of great tricks and stuff. And I thought, well, we can make that, right? Like, we have a video camera. At the same time, I was actually playing in Photoshop a lot. And then I found out that you could actually like take things from Photoshop and put them in Premiere. So that was a real revelation for me that like, oh, it doesn't just have to be video or graphics. It can be like video graphics. There isn't really a line, you know? It's when you get into digital media like that, it kind of can be whatever you want it to be. On my very first day of Full Sail, I showed up to school with my roommate, and we're standing outside the class. And I hadn't been standing there for more than 2 minutes, and somebody walked up to me and said, "Hey, I'm Nate." And that was the first time I ever met Nate Howe. And we have been close, and we've cried together and laughed together and grown in our careers together, and it has been one of the more meaningful relationships I've had in my life.
Very quickly after meeting Chris, I could tell that he was a person that I wanted to be around. It is unbelievable to me what an impact he's made on my life. I mean, he is a trailblazer that showed me the path to getting out to Los Angeles. He helped me start my freelance career in Los Angeles. And from the moment I met him, he was interested in design and technology and interactive and all these things.
That was like a challenge for me, was like figuring out which thing I was. People love to put things in buckets, right? Like humans do that. And so I always felt the need to put myself in a bucket. Like, what am I? Am I a motion designer?
Chris had every big studio trying to hire him. I mean, there were full-time job offers, freelance booking offers, flying left and right. And Chris then took all that knowledge, and he transcended that whole industry, and he said, you know, I want to do something more. I want to now bring this back and merge my love of problem solving and design with technology and interactivity in emerging markets. So he went up to Google and he impressed them just like he does everyone.
For the first time in my career, the more things I can do, the better I am as a designer. So I'm prototyping, I'm doing visual design work, I'm doing motion design, because really, design is just the ability to communicate concepts, right? Design is narrative. Design is the ability to tell a story. And the more tools you have in your tool set, the more powerful you can be at storytelling. The problems that I'm working on now are very hard. There are not foundational design patterns. There are not pre-existing mental models for people. And I see myself chewing on this problem for quite a long time. So many people that have supported me along the way, you know, meeting my wife and becoming not just a spouse, but a partner with her. You know, it's a lot of work with 2 kids. And seeing their curiosity and seeing the way they look at the world No one has more empathy than kids. They're the world's greatest designers.
I'm so excited for him to be in the Hall of Fame because he embodies on so many different levels what a successful Full Sail grad is.
My time at Full Sail uniquely prepared me for Google in a way that I didn't expect until like 17 years into my career. And the empowerment that it gave me to be in that environment, that, you know, that switch of like, this is a thing that I can do that will make a difference, didn't turn on in me until I came to Full Sail. You know, it's a really humbling and meaningful thing for me to be inducted, but really, it's mostly a great excuse to come hang out with everybody again.
Please welcome the owner of Nathaniel Howe Studios, Emmy Award-winning creative director and Full Sail University Hall of Fame member, Nathaniel Howe.
What a great moment. You know, from that first day at school, Chris, I have been inspired by you every day I've known you. You've always pushed me to be more. And that is true seeing you as a father. You're an amazing father. You're an amazing friend. And you deserve to be in this. And now I get to see you every year, so it's kind of a selfish thing. I wanted to see you every year. The truth of the matter is, Chris, I love you so much, and I want to thank you for everything you've done for me and for so many people. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome Chris Kelly into the Full Sail University Hall of Fame.
Wow, could you feel the love in here or what? Whew. My goodness. So, let me fish my little talk out here. What a beautiful production this is. That video was incredible. Absolutely moving. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm incredibly humbled and grateful to be standing here to receive this award. You know, I've idolized so many people at Full Sail and the Full Sail Hall of Fame members for so long. So to be here in their presence as a peer is very surreal. My goal is to never acclimate to that feeling, and instead I'm going to leverage this as like an all-access backstage pass to being around the people who inspire me. Thank you so much to Full Sail for this recognition. Thanks to the students, staff, and faculty that make this insane creative petri dish possible. You know, the environment that you create here for the Hall of Fame week is second to none. It takes so much work, time, and sacrifice from your lives to put this work on. Thank you so much to everyone who puts their life and love into this, because we feel every little nuance of it. We notice the love, we feel the passion. Thank you so much. And thanks to all of you who make Full Sail happen. You know, Gary Jones, you are such an inspiration to the people, inspiration model to the people in this world who want to spread authentic love, compassion, and empowerment to those around us. You have this true superpower to make people feel so incredibly valued, and you make them feel so capable and limitless. I have always felt like that here and around you, and because of the environment that you've created here. Thank you for dedicating your life to fulfilling the world with other creative people and love. And there are so many people here at Full Sail of similar ilk. I graduated in 2002, and I immediately went heads down in building my career. and by the time I'd come up for air, it had been 13 years since I'd been back to campus. I had the opportunity to come back for Hall of Fame 6 to induct Nate, and on my first day back in campus, I walked around a corner and I saw Jay Noble. Jay turned around, walked right up to me, gave me a big hug, and said, "Welcome home." Like we had never missed a beat. And this is such a special family here, and I will cherish it forever. I'm so grateful that a lot of my family has traveled from all over the country here, some of whom aren't even here because they're outside holding crying babies, or they're at the hotel waiting to receive tired kids. It's not lost on me. I'm a crier, so. It's not lost on me that my success is made possible not only by the direct support and encouragement you give me, but by the emotional fortitude that I gain by knowing that I always have a plan no matter what, because I always have a place I can go. I love you. Thank you so much for supporting me through every step of my life. Thanks to Nate for being here with the family at home, to be here and sharing this experience. You are a great father, a great friend, and a dedicated man of action who forges past to success no matter which way you put your creative energy. I love you, and of course, I will consider you family forever. I can't even say her name. My wife, Daralisa. Every day I fill my lungs with you. I love you so much. You're my dream girl. Your drive and passion inspire me to be better, The way you love and treat others is a beacon for hope, and the way you stand up for what's right is a model for our children. Thank you for supporting me during missed dinners, late nights at the studio, literally sleeping on the floor next to me when I'm doing freelance work out in the living room, and for putting up with weeks apart while I'm around the world traveling for work. And to my two beautiful little babies, Shaylin and James, who are here tonight. Shaylin, Daddy loves you so much. You can do anything. All you have to do is work hard and never quit. You can be an astronaut, an artist, an engineer, or an author, and you will be the best at it, and I will always love you. James, I love you too, but you're one, so if you watch this someday when you're older, if you watch this when you're older, just know that I'm probably still faster than you, and you should listen to your mom because she's probably right. And to the students, everybody outside and online, as with many things in life, half of the battle is just showing up. It's standing up and walking through the doors. You've chosen to be here at Full Sail, so you've taken the right first step. But it's just that, it's the first step, it's a springboard. You have many steps ahead. Full Sail's third law: for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Trust me when I say that every ounce of energy you pour into this place and to committing your time here will be rewarded in spades back to you from these amazing teachers and facilities. I've been saying these things to you all week in the panels and in conversations around campus. Take advantage of your time here. This is a very special place. There's nowhere like it in the world. Work hard, do more, listen more, meet people, spread your love, help people, give back. Skip that night out and do another motion test. Every step forward you take that someone else doesn't take is putting you ahead. Success is attracted to hunger. It finds it irresistible. The formula is simple. Dedication, reliability, talent, and passion are the perfect storm to put you on the right trajectory. We all started right where you are now. You want to be successful? Don't talk about it, be about it. Start now. Be prepared for the opportunities that come your way and create your own magic through your hard work. Most importantly, know that Full Sail, the collective Full Sail, staff, faculty, and alumni, We are here for you. We care about you, and we care about your success. This is a family, and we will rise together. Thank you for this incredible award. I love you all, and I'm grateful to have you in my life. Thank you.
Done, Nate. I think we're going outside, right? To say hi to the students out? Yeah. Jackie, take us, buddy. Come on, Nate. We're going to go say hi to the students outside.
Welcome back to the stage, Full Sail University President Gary Jones and Chris Kelly.
Afternoon, hey? Thank you so much for braving the elements in these torrential not rains and the awful breeze out here. I know it was hot earlier, I'm sorry. Thank you for hanging in there, guys. It's so great that you're here today. Makes it so much more fulfilling knowing you're out here rooting for us right inside the room there. And you guys look marvelous. Marvelous. Here's Chris.
Are you feeling it out here or what? It's so awesome that you all showed up. That's such an important step. You're here, you're in the right place. Spread the love, work hard, spread the passion. You're all gonna rock it. We're here for you.
I love you guys so much, and I wish you all the best. And remember one thing, you guys can create beauty from nothing. You literally can open up a blank Photoshop document, an empty timeline, and you can create magic out of nothing. And remember, that's not just in your digital creations, that's in your life. You can make something out of nothing, and it could be the most beautiful creation that you could ever imagine. I love you guys.
Again, my beloved students, our beloved students, you are precious. Every single one of you are so precious, and your spirit and your creativity and all the things that brought you here are just amazing. I'm gonna shoot you now. Hey guys, I forgot to tell you, there are some great gift certificates inside the t-shirts. There are gift certificates inside the t-shirts. Wow. We could take this on the road, guys. This is awesome. So some people have worked very hard over in Platinum Creative documenting some of the things. Hi, Marcella. Some of the things that are going on around here all week long during Hall of Fame week. So let's check out this video that's sort of a recap or a review of some of the things that you guys have been doing. Yes? Great outfit, sister. Great outfit. Let's watch.
Hall of Fame, a time for professional reflection, growth, networking, making connections, and honoring our accomplished graduates. But above all, this is a time for students to learn, absorb, and focus on their career goals. We spoke to a few students attending the 11th Annual Hall of Fame to understand this event through their eyes and see just what it's like to experience this week as a student.
There are so many people here. It's a concentrated pool of alumni, and I mean like Hall of Fame alumni. I think if you want to be able to get into your careers and your passion, you should be here.
Oh, it's cool, yeah. This is the first day, like super excited, happy to be here, you know, happy to be a full student.
As a student, it just guides me in the right direction, makes me realize that I'm doing the right things, taking the right steps in the right directions to be successful in my career.
I always learn a lot from the panels, and it always, immediately after, I want to go home and start working on my projects, and even then I always make a lot of friends because it's Full Sail. Everybody's nice.
What I'm hoping to take away from this week is just building new relationships with people in other degree programs, you know, getting to know them so that further down the line when I go to make my own projects, I'll have those connections. Definitely making connections is the biggest thing.
This week, I'm looking forward to all the food trucks.
The Amish pretzel truck was the best. The networking is also up there. I mean, I don't know which one's better, pretzels or networking, but I think it might be networking.
For me, I always look forward to the silent disco and seeing like people's creations on like what they create on the art wall, and also obviously the block party and the ceremony.
Honestly, it's a great experience getting to meet new people and especially getting out there in the real world.
The creative experience. That's like the best part. You really get to have fun, just kick back and relax. You can't beat that.
I think it's a beautiful thing, you know, really, schools don't really do this, you know, so it's awesome, I love it.
I am most looking forward to the cosplay contest. I've already seen a lot of cool costumes, and a lot of my friends are participating.
I'm actually a League of Legends coach. It was an amazing experience to be able to go against some of the best players here at school and to have fun with some fellow Overwatch players.
Sunday was Worlds Collide, and, you know, I had the pleasure of hosting. You know, just got to talk, got to play some games with a lot of very cool people, with a lot of very cool students. It was just a good time. Overall, I just really like the sense of community that is around Hall of Fame, and how everyone is just chilling about Full Sail campus and just having a really good time.
Let's give it up for 2001 recording arts graduate and currently on tour with Grammy Award-winning Lauryn Hill, Da Vinci. Woo! He's going to be back later to join us too, so don't anyone go anywhere. Now it's time to meet our next inductee.
I have been obsessed with sound since I was young. I played Metal Gear for the NES, and the sound of the guards being alerted really caught my attention. That was when it occurred to me, hey, somebody's doing this, like somebody makes these sounds. I would make cassette tapes where I held the boombox up to my TV and recorded the sound effects out of the sound effect test menu, and I would try to cut these little scenes together. That was kind of how I got into it initially, and the obsession just never stopped. I was a major nerd when I was here, in a good way. Like, I was the kid who sat in the front row of every class on my laptop, taking notes, asking tons of questions. I felt like if I put in a lot, I would get a lot, and I did. It seemed to me that the best odds I had of finding a job were just talking to everybody I possibly could about what I wanted to do. I always tell people, you have to network a lot, but you have to make friends, and that's been something that I feel has helped me a lot in my career. My first game audio job came to me via Matt Pearsall. He knew I wanted to get into game sound. I was working at this Post studio being a film transfer assistant, and one day he called me and said, hey, I'm working on a Tony Hawk game. I need some help. Do you want to help me? I quit my job immediately and I started working with him. And the game was Tony Hawk's Project 8 for the PS2, 360, and a few other platforms.
I called him up and I said, okay, before we begin, there's a level in Tony Hawk that's an amusement park. Why don't we go to Six Flags and record Six Flags? And this was in Dallas. So we snuck our field recording gear in, and I had this binaural set up, and Mark had a couple of what I'd consider to be stealth mics. We snuck those in, and we rode roller coasters. When we sent it to Never Stop, they were like, these roller coasters sound incredible. Where did you get this horse? You'll never believe. Theft.
I learned a lot from Matt. He is this wildly creative sound designer, so I learned a lot just by standing in his office and watching him work. He gave me a lot of ideas about how to use and misuse your audio tools to create interesting sounds. A lot of my day is making sounds and hooking them up into a game. There's a lot of communicating with other members of the audio teams I'm working with. The atypical days are really fun because I get to record stuff and create new source material. I love recording. That's one of my favorite parts of my job. A project I'm currently on, I needed a bunch of fresh glass break sounds. So I went to a dollar store, a few blocks away from my house, and just bought 3 of every type of glass they had. And I took them out in my backyard and I set up some mics and I just spent an afternoon smashing glasses and having fun and got some really great source material out of that.
Mark's work ethic is apparent in his personal life, his family life, and his career. And I can tell that he still loves what he's doing. He's not planning to get out of the industry. He's just a more balanced individual with an extremely great and grounded work ethic. Mark's also very active in the game audio community, very quick to give a compliment, very quick to be positive. And as simple as that sounds, it's kind of rare. And it's easy to get negative about it. Work can be overwhelming, but he's been consistently public and consistently positive. Mark wants to bring the whole game audio industry up as opposed to just himself up, which is why I think he's succeeded.
People have helped me all the way through my career. Just about every job I've ever gotten has been through some connection I've made. People have mentored me and given me advice along the way. I had somebody earlier in my career who helped me and gave me a lot of advice. And I asked, hey, how can I repay you? Can I buy you lunch the next time I see you? What do you want? And his answer was, just help other people. Do this for somebody else. I'm honored and I'm very, very humbled to be joining this group of amazing people. I mean, I'm going to be in a group with people like David Farmer and Gary Rizzo. Holy shit. I hope this gives me the clout to talk to students and have them actually listen to me. I just want to do the most good I can with it.
To induct Mark Kilborn, please welcome Supervising Sound Editor, Re-Recording Mixer, and Full Sail Hall of Fame member, Frank Schuring.
I feel like I waited a long time to do this, but first, there's a special message from Matt Pearsall. Let's check it out.
Hey, Mark. I'm happy to know you. I'm so proud of you. I'm glad that I've been connected with you for all these years, and we've been friends and maintained a really good relationship, and we've worked on a lot of cool projects together. I'm glad that we're finally getting to work together more directly, and I can't wait to see what you do in the future. Congratulations, bud.
I'm going to make this really quick because I want to get Mark up here. So, it is my honor to induct Mark Kilborn into the Full Sail University Hall of Fame.
I'm not texting, I promise. I've got notes. Wow, this is surreal. It still hasn't set in. So first of all, I want to thank my lovely wife, Dana, and our children. She said she'd beat me up if I didn't thank her first, so. But seriously, she has been, a lot of people talk about how their significant other has been with them the whole way, and she truly has. We started dating shortly before I came here. She moved in with me when I came out here to start school. So she has been here for the entirety of my college education, my career. She has seen all the ups and downs, and despite that, despite me dealing with everything the game industry had to throw at me, she did not run off screaming into the night. So thank you, dear. Thank you to my wonderful children, Ruby, Milo, Kyrie, Finnegan. I love you all so much. Thank you, Matt, for the introduction and for giving me my first gig all those years ago, for teaching me so many ways to, as I said, abuse and misuse sound. I learned so much from him. And thank you to Frank Schuring. I didn't really come back a lot after I graduated, and he was the first person who got me to come back, and I'm so thankful that he did. I kind of went out and did my own thing, and I didn't realize that we had this amazing community here until Frank said, you know, you need to come back, come visit these people. I think you'll like them. And I'm so grateful that he did, because they keep letting me come back and talk to students, and I found that, you know, it's become one of the greatest joys of my life to talk to students and teach them and see their eyes light up when they understand new concepts. It's just been tremendously amazing for me. I'm being a little superfluous in my words, sorry. It's a little more nerve-wracking than I thought. Thank you to everybody at Full Sail, everybody who's helped me along the way. Thank you to Gary and the leadership team, everybody who's put all this together. Thank you to all my fellow inductees this evening. It's an honor to be doing this tonight with all of you. It's amazing. And thank you to the Hall of Fame for welcoming me in. I've said this a million times, and I'm going to say it here on stage. After I got to start coming back a few times, people would say, you know, you might get into the Hall of Fame one day. And I said, I don't care, as long as they keep letting me come back to talk to the students and hang out. That's all I want. And now I guess I get to keep coming back, and it's amazing. So I want to talk about some things. There's been some amazing advice given by some of the other inductees this evening. Lots of great things that I used along the way, but I want to talk about a really, really specific piece of advice that I want all the students to hear, and it's a lesson that I should have gotten early in my career, and I didn't. I want to talk about people. Some people, as I said, learn this lesson earlier in their career than I did. Some people never learn it. I've gotten my head around it in the last few years. Apparently there's a Hall of Fame curse/blessing where we tend to go through big life-changing events around the time we get inducted, and this was mine. The most important thing to me in my career is people. I used to think it was the project. I used to think it was winning awards. Early in my career, I reached higher and I chased the biggest, baddest projects I could, and I would tell you 10 years ago, I want to win awards, I want to be the best sound designer. I'm so driven by that. Then I spent a long time, doing this and chasing this dream, and I had a lot of success. But at some point, a number of years ago, I realized that I was deeply, profoundly unhappy. And I realized that I was focused too much on the result and not enough on the people around me. And that was a really hard lesson to get, and a few people taught me that lesson. But what I've come to learn in the last couple of years is that the people are more important than the project, and that's now a statement I say in my head every time I consider working on a project as a freelancer. Before I joined the team that I very recently joined in Austin, Texas, the people are more important than the project. Because even if the project you're working on is amazing, if the people around you are wrong, if they don't want to see you succeed, if they care more about the project than the people around them, you're never going to be happy. But even if the project isn't that exciting, or it's uninteresting, or not your thing, if you're surrounded by people who are honest, kind, who want to share knowledge and help you and everyone around them grow, you'll be happy. And I've learned that I can work on just about anything as long as I am surrounded by wonderful people that I trust, that I can call my friends. And I'm very grateful to be doing that. So students, if you're out there listening, I hope you are, When you graduate, please take this lesson with you. The people are more important than the project. Let it drive your decisions. Let it guide you. Don't spend a decade figuring this out the way I did. I should have learned it sooner, and I'm giving you the opportunity to learn it now. Hopefully you'll listen to me. I know a little bit. And in terms of finding great people, you know, something I learned along the way is that you have a great head start because you're here. There are so many amazing people in the community around here that want to help you succeed. This school gives us tremendous connections with each other, and you know, I've been out in the world for 15 years now, and I have friends that I went to school with that are doing amazing things. I have friends at places like Treyarch and Kings Isle. I have a friend I know named Stephen C. Miller. I worked on his student film project, and he got inducted a couple years ago, right? The people around you may be your colleagues, your clients, your employees at some point in the future, so start here. Meet as many people as you can. When you go out into the industry, meet more people. Don't meet them to get work. Don't meet them to get something. Meet them to make friends. Ask them about themselves, remember their names, remember their children's names, remember what matters to them. Give what you can of yourself to the community around you. And at least in my life, what I found is that the community will give back to you. I've especially found this to be true in the sound design and game audio communities. Some of my best friends on this planet are people I've met through sound. I wish I could thank every person out there who participates in #GameAudio on Twitter, the Game Audio Slack channel, all of it. I love all of you. You all are wonderful. Our community is magical, and I'm grateful every day to be a part of it. And I'm grateful to be a part of the Full Sail family every day. So now that I've said that lesson, I have a lot of people to thank, and I'm probably going to forget a few because I'm really, really nervous and anxious up here. So I'm going to thank as many people as I can remember, and then I'm going to tweet out a list later because it's the future, and that's what we do when we live in the future, right? I need to say thank you to Keith Lay, who is one of the truly, truly amazing teachers in my life. I will remember you forever. Before I got to Full Sail, I was a very stubborn and difficult student. I did really well here because I finally found my passion. But a few teachers in my life made a mark on me, and Keith, you were one of them. Thank you so, so much. Whoever's driving the camera over there is Mr. Doug Knight, somewhere in that crowd. I saw him earlier this evening. My parents weren't totally sold on coming out here. Oh shit, I forgot to thank my parents at the beginning of this. Crap. I'm really sorry. I'll get to that in a minute. Anxiety, it does this. But Doug Knight, thank you so much for helping me to convince my dad that this was the right thing for me. He was very skeptical, to say the least. Dad, I miss you very much. You've been gone a few years, but thank you for backing me on this ridiculous decision that you didn't understand, and I'm so thankful you got it before you left. Thank you to my stepfather, Mike, who was, he was my stepfather, but he treated me as one of his own children, and it was amazing, and I will always be grateful for that. Thank you to my brother, John, and thank you to my mother, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, but she's watching this on the stream. Mom, I'm really, really sorry I didn't thank you at the beginning. I'm never gonna live this down, but it's okay. Oh, good Lord, did I forget anybody else? Let me look at my notes here. Anyway, I want to thank a gentleman named Gary Pillen. When I first got out of Full Sail, it was very hard to get into game audio, and I worked at an audio post-production facility for a while doing TV commercials, radio commercials and stuff. It wasn't exactly what I wanted to do, but it was audio related, so I jumped at the opportunity. And Gary Pillen taught me so much about sound, and he taught me, more importantly, he showed me what a lifetime of commitment to learning looks like. This is a man who has spent his entire life learning, and he's still doing it today. He posts links on Twitter, or on Facebook, about all these wonderful things he's learning about, and he really instilled that in me. Thank you to Matt Pearsall for asking me to work on my very first game and for opening my eyes to, I already said that one, shit. Thank you, Matt. Nick Wiswell gave me my first in-house job in the game industry, even though I never actually got to move across the ocean. And Nick, thank you for not actually breaking my fingers that one time I broke the build. He threatened to, and he didn't. Thank you, Nick. I kind of need him. Thank you to my friends, Frank Schuring, Sam Hulick, Michael Orlowski, Tom Todia, Fernando Delgado, and Camden Stoddard for always being there when I need advice or a beer over Skype. I love you guys very much. Thank you to Jill and Devin and your families. Thank you for being great friends and for all of the help. My wife and I literally would not have survived our twins without you two. Thank you so much. I want to thank two of my very best friends in the world who are sadly no longer with me. Allison, thank you for being a big sister to me when I really needed one. And Mark Cole, thank you for the whiskey and endless conversations about films, games, and life. Don Vecca, Brian Toohey, and Stephen Miller for teaching me so much about the craft of game sound and for always pushing me to do better and be better. Stefan, Alex, Xiaoan, and David, it's been a pleasure to collaborate with you guys, and I'm looking forward to future adventures. Sorry, I know I've got the really long list of thanks. I'm almost there. Dave Lowe Miller, Mika Robertson, Stephen Brown, Kat Winsky, and Matt, thank you for inviting me to start the next chapter of my career with you. I am so excited about what we're going to do together. David Farmer, Ed Lima, Jeff Westovich, Travis Nace, Ronan Murphy, John Rod, Thomas Owen, Chase Combs, Jamie Scott, Alex Ephraim, and everyone else. If you're not noticing this, my entire career has been thanks to the people around me, so thank you to all of you for everything that you've done to help me along the way. Thank you for your advice and your support. Thank you again, Dana and our kids, for always sticking with me through the best and the worst of times. I love you all more than I'll ever be able to adequately express. I have more thank yous than time, so look for that tweet. And thank you all for being here this evening. Again, I am honored, and I promise I will use this to give back as much as I can to Full Sail students and alumni in the future. Thank you.
All right, Star Troopers, turn your attention to the screen for your next Hall of Fame 11 inductee.
I am head of technology at Insomniac Games. My team is responsible for engineering and IT across the company. And so really what we see as our mission is to make it easy for them. Let these amazing things that live in their mind come out into the games, onto the screen. Final Fantasy VII came out for the PlayStation. And that just really changed the course of my life. You know, games would give you an adrenaline rush, they would make you excited. But Final Fantasy actually made me sad, and it made me scared. And I remember thinking at the time, I was like, gosh, what in the heck would it take to make something like this? So I ended up picking up this thread, that had been dormant, picking up this thread of making games. The thing that really got me about Full Sail when I first visited was it was an entire, community of people that were like me, that wanted to make things, that wanted to create things. My first job was with Interplay Entertainment Corp. They had just done extraordinary work, and I was a huge fan, and was, fortunate enough to get a job with their new console division. And so I actually started my career working on the PlayStation 2. I applied to Naughty Dog and Insomniac at the same time, which are two of my favorite companies. I just decided to say, screw it, maybe I am, good enough to do this. Insomniac did give me a shot. And that was in November 2003, and I'm still there. Insomniac had more opportunity than we knew what to do with. From that came this idea of, well, why don't we open a new studio?
Sean and I moved out to Durham, North Carolina in 2008 to start up a brand new Insomniac studio. Because we solved that huge problem together, we got to be very, very close. We lean on each other a lot. In fact, we sit right next to each other, even now.
Chad is one of those few people that will look at something that other people think is done, and he's like, no, wait a second. We can probably do this and this and this. And he can actually execute it. It's staggering.
Sean has had a pretty amazing progression in his career, from a gameplay programmer really working in the trenches to now a chief technical officer at the company. And each one of those involves working with more and more people, solving increasingly huge challenges.
What I love the most about what I do is every day I get to come to work and solve really challenging problems. Games exist at the intersection of technology and creativity. And it's incredibly exciting. It can be nerve-wracking for people, you know, but it's I don't know. There's no place that I could imagine being as interesting as, you know, doing what I do.
Sean told me that he was going to be inducted into the Full Sail Hall of Fame, and you know, it clearly was huge for him, and I was so happy, so proud to hear it. And then I was blown away when he asked me to induct him. I really wasn't expecting it, and I couldn't feel more honored to talk about Sean. His work has influenced me. His work has taught me a better way to do things, and I can't think of a more worthy person to bestow that honor on.
To be welcomed into this group of Hall of Famers, I don't know, it's insane. The idea of Full Sail honoring me and bringing me into it is, it's amazing. I'm speechless. I'm never speechless.
Inducting Sean McCabe with more than 25 years in the game industry, please welcome the head of creative at Insomniac Games, Chad Desern.
I could talk for hours about Sean, but I'll try to not talk for that long. I'll keep it relatively brief. Sean's amazing. I was thinking back to my very earliest memories of Sean way back in 2003, and I realized I knew Sean by reputation before I knew him in person. I remember I was struggling with this really tough challenge. I'm going to say it was something about vertex lighting, you know, like obscure arcane technology. And one of my colleagues said, you know, you should really talk to Sean McCabe about that, because that guy knows how to get things done. And so I met Sean, and at the time, he sort of reminded me of a surfer from a 1960s sitcom. But I learned really quickly that my friend was right. Sean absolutely knows how to get things done. You know, in your career, if you get really lucky, you might meet an engineer who has really amazing problem-solving skills. You might get to work with a creative who fills the world with great ideas. You might get to work with a collaborator who inspires you and everybody around to do their best work. But I kind of hit the jackpot because I get to work with Sean every day, and he's all three of those things. He's a programmer, he's a creative, and he's a leader. And it's a little bit freakish and maybe even a little bit unfair, and he may be dabbling in the occult. I'm not sure. He's amazing, and I got to tell you, because of all that, and no offense, I've met a lot of people here, and you're all super capable and talented, but if I had to pick one person on earth to work with and accomplish things with, you better believe it would be Sean. And that's why it's my honor to induct Sean McCabe into the Full Sail University Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Sean.
I love a good awkward hug, and Chad Desern, you give the best awkward hugs of anybody I know. Chad Desern, everybody. You know, it was back in 1998. I was a music student at Rollins College, and I was sitting on a park bench outside the School of Music, and I was brooding. I did a lot of brooding back then, and somebody came up to me, one of my fellow music majors, and he came up, he was excited, and he said, Sean, guess what? I'm dropping out of school. And I was like, cool, man, it's great. But he said, no, I'm gonna go to this school called Full Sail. And then he said something that really changed my life forever. What he said is, you know how you were always talking about making video games? Well, they're starting a game design program. That was a pretty innocuous moment in my life,
But when I look back on it, it changed everything. I've been doing this for about 20 years now, a 20-year journey. And journeys change us. You know, circumstances shape us, environment shapes us. But when I think across these past 20 years, I don't think that anything has shaped me more than people. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to share a little bit of this journey by telling you all about the people who helped shape me. I want to tell you about an extraordinary family. This starts with my mom, Leslie. I can't cry already, gosh. This starts with my mom, Leslie, who's watching on the stream right now. Hi, Mommy. Hi, Mommy. You've given me more than I could ever list in any amount of time. But I think the thing that I cherish the most is that you taught me from my earliest age that to be creative isn't something that you do. It's something that you are. To my father, Jim. Hi, Dad. He's out there. The architect, for teaching me that things even as awe-inspiring as skyscrapers are designed and built just by people. To my brother, Adarsh, the animal trainer. It's a true story. For introducing to me to three of my favorite things in life, which would be Star Wars, Dungeons and Dragons, and yes, video games. To my stepmother, Claire. Hi, Claire. Howdy. For teaching me the importance of integrity, honor, and to always close strong. You know, for nearly 30 years, you have been joking with me about being my evil stepmother, and I just want you to know, between the two of us, you're pretty awesome. You're pretty awesome. So next, I want to tell you about some extraordinary people in my Full Sail family, and I'm warning you in advance that there are a lot. I want to start with Michelle Gaudette-Long, who taught my first game design class. So over there, Michelle. Michelle taught me a valuable lesson, and what that lesson I believe was, and I'm not going to curse, but I believe what she said is, stop freaking around and just write. And I just want you to know, I thought about that this week. I stopped freaking around and I just wrote. Thank you. To Arthur Johnson, who made me laugh so incredibly hard that I forgot to be afraid of things like pointers and linked lists and private inheritance. I can't do the finger snap where I would. Never been able to. To Dustin Klingman, my buddy Dustin, for teaching me the limits of my own capacity, and for teaching me that if I wanted to do really great things, I couldn't do it alone. Sorry. To Dave Arneson, Leslie, you jinxed me. You're right. You know, I rolled my first 20-sided die when I was about 7 years old. And never in my wildest dreams did I then think that one day I would be doing the same thing with the man that created it all. Thank you, Dave. You may not be here in body anymore, but we'll never, ever forget you. I'm not going to cry for the next one in front. I'm not crying, I'm just choked up. To Sean Kendall, my buddy Sean Kendall, thank you for demystifying 3D graphics and teaching me one day, glibly telling me that, it's just bits, man. It's just bits. Thank you. Good. And to Bill Galbraith, teaching me one of the most important lessons in my life, which ironically and laughably he doesn't remember, which is that opportunity is not something that is given, that opportunity is something that is seized. To Mr. Gary Jones, my friend, my brother, every moment that I spend with you teaches this Vulcan how to act more like a human. To my fantastic fellow inductees, the other Hall of Famers, the alumni that are here, the students, the faculty, the administration, I have no idea how you do it. But when I'm around you, when I get to spend time with you, I feel like I have superpowers. Thank you. And then, I want to talk about my Insomniac family. I want to thank Ted Price, Al Hastings and Brian Hastings, Insomniac's founders, for 25 years ago thinking that it would be really cool to start a video game company and then building it into what it is today. And I'd also like to thank him for a few years later taking a chance on a long-haired crazy kid from Florida. That would be me. And then to the literally hundreds of amazing Insomniacs with whom I've had the pleasure of working the last 16 years. What can I say? How do you do it? How do you amaze me every day? But I really want to recognize one person. That is Chad DeZern. And let me tell you, when I was thinking about what I was going to say when I was up here, it occurred to me that despite the fact that we have been attached at the hip for the last 12 years, there's something that I really need to tell you. I've been surrounded by amazing people for so long, but there is no single person that has had a greater impact in my career than you. You're an exceptional leader, a master problem solver, and by far the most amazing creative mind I've ever known. It is an honor and a pleasure to have you as a mentor, a partner, and a friend. Thank you. Thank you, Chad. And my children, Tamira, for her shining brilliance, her quiet strength, and her extremely snarky sense of humor. Pretty sure she got that from her dad. I think she probably did. To my son, Rex, for his boundless energy. The fact that he wakes me up at 5:45 a.m. to play Pokemon cards, and I'm happy about it. And his certain penchant for making up his own music while he's inventing battles with his dinosaurs and action figures. But finally, I want to thank the most important person in my life. And I know that the biggest thing that you dread in life is attention. We're like a different species in that way. And yet, if you'll indulge me. Sorry. I'm a man of seemingly innumerable faults. You know, in my darkest moments, or darker moments, I struggle to imagine why anybody would love me at all. And so I want you to know that the unconditional love that you give me every day is what keeps me going. It's my foundation. It's my rock. Now, I don't know if you might have forgotten this now, but I was a little bit late to our first date. Do you remember? Okay, you do. Good. A little bit late to our first date. And yet, you took a chance, and you stuck around. And 16 years later, you know what I see? I'm still late a lot. And you're still sticking around, and you're still taking a chance. You are my wisest counselor. You are my believer in chief. And so I want you to know on this night, when I am honored in this way, that we did this together, you and me. I share this with you. So that's my journey. It's people. These fabulous, wonderful, extraordinary, passionate people that I've had the privilege to be surrounded by for the last 20 years. And I don't know where this journey's going. I really don't. You know, if the past 20 years have been any indication, it's going to be filled with twists and turns, ups and downs, trials and tribulations. It's just the way life works. It will be exciting. It will be transformative. But when I look ahead, you know what the biggest thing that keeps me going is? The biggest thing that keeps me knowing that I can do it is I'm not going to be alone. You know why? Because I have you. We'll do this together. We'll keep moving ahead together, no matter what happens. That's what makes it all possible for me. Me, nerdy kid from Florida, and you, my extraordinary family. Thank you, Hall of Fame, and thank you, Full Sail University.
Okay. Oh, I'm back on again. Oof. What an evening, huh? Inductees, you are stunning in every way. And yes, in every way you're so stunning. Your stories, your comments, your hearts, Aldana, come on. Amazing, huh? Just who you are is evidence of why you've been elected, voted on, chosen, selected, earned your place in this amazing group of people. 66 strong, and you are pioneers and leaders. And you show that with your hearts and not just your brains. And that's what makes this whole crazy thing work. You know, if I didn't already believe in God, I most certainly would after spending time with any one and every one of you because of the goodness that you channel, that beautiful love that you just give so freely to everybody you encounter and those around you. It is jaw-dropping. It's bone-crushingly real. It is just genuine, pure essence of what we all should try to embody every day, which is loving one another. And I think that's what we're told to do, right? Love each other, take care of each other, and you're living your lives that way. Today has been monumentally inspirational for all of us at Full Sail because of you. New inductees, your words, your stories, the power in who you are is just nothing short of divine. So thank you for sharing that part of you with us. I want to give some special thanks with all of us. Some special thanks. This event, this week of Hall of Fame, began production, I think it was 2 weeks after the last one ended. Am I close on that, Craig Daly? Yeah. So the planning has been going on, and an army of Full Sail people have been churning at this and dreaming this crazy stuff up and making sure that the seminars are planned. So thank you to our students that volunteered, to the graduates that came back to help, and to our staff and faculty. And this won't cover it all, but the ones who are responsible for the creative experience this week, the panels and the presentations, and I mentioned 250 of these crazy things. This week, all the special events, the dinners that were hosted, the transportation that you made sure all of our Hall of Fame members and their families had, the career networking events, the Tech Expo, tonight's ceremony. And yes, there is load in and load out, is there not? Show pro guys and girls, there is. Let's bring our 6 new inductees back to the stage now as we start winding down this beautiful time together. Come on up and join me, if you would. Any place that feels right. Any place that feels right, Fela. Ladies and gentlemen, first time the 2020 Hall of Fame number 11 inductees have ever appeared on a stage together as new inductees right here, right now. Woo! Thank you to our streaming audience that joined us. Standing ovation for you critters. Look at this. Thank you to the online audience that joined us tonight. So grateful to have you with us. Thank you, thank you. Outside, our students, our faculty and staff out there, thanks, guys, for being a part. Thanks for hanging in. We'll be out shortly here to see you. And our last thing of the evening, Jackie, you need to help guide me. I'm going to mess up here somewhere, so be on standby. Our last thing is a performance by the lovely Natasha, who you saw on stage with Orion. That's what they call their band, right? They named it Orion. So Natasha and Da Vinci are going to perform together. Jackie, where do you want us? Step off this way or this way? Thank you. Last event, guys, and then we'll cut you loose. I'll come back and tell you where to go in a nice way right after this song. Follow Jackie right there.
Thank you.